DXO PhotoLab 9. Is it really that good? Hype or revolution? Let's dive in and take a look. Welcome to the channel. I am John Von Hesser, the award-winning photographer from Melbourne, Australia, and today I am talking about a DxO PhotoLab 9. Is it that good? I was approached by DxO in an email, and I thought to myself first, oh gee, is this for real or is this a scam? I'm a new channel, who do they know? Anyway, did a bit of research, looked into them, was contacted by DxO, and we went in and had a video conference call, and it was a real thing, and they were kind enough to send me the product to have a look and review. And I will say that on first impressions and what I've seen, it is next level. If you want an editing software program that is amazing and take your photography to the next level, I'm telling you, this is the program for you. They have not asked me to say or tell their spin on it. They want me to give my spin on my teaching of it. So what we're going to do, we're going to dive into the software and we're going to go through it together, and I'm going to show you some of the things that have absolutely blown me away in this product. Okay, so let's dive into the program. Now, the very first thing that I noticed on this program was I was looking for the import button to input my photos, and it was like, oh, okay, can't find that. The program, when you open it, off to the left-hand side over here, it is already there, ready to go. So, so there's a few little different things from some of the other programs. And what you'll find is the folders here. So you can click on your folders and find your photos there. If you can't find them, what I found was going to favorites, click on favorites, and then you'll select your files of what photos you want, click input, and it will bring them in for you. So I thought what I'll do is I'll start on a photo and a shoot that I did last summer with the lightning. And the reason I've chosen this photo in particular was because I was doing long exposures. The dynamic sky that was there sort of softened off, and I had to do it to get the of course, to get the lightning. But I thought this was a great shot. And so looking at it, what you'll find is that it's quite dark here. And so we get that photo, go through the bottom, click on our raw photo, then customize. Okay, click on that, and then all of a sudden we've got all our settings here. Now, the primary function is light. That I find is the first sort of window there. Then you have your color and details to do with denoising and stuff like that. Of course, then we've got geometry, so your focal length and horizon and stuff like that. Effects, if you want to bring watermarks in, you can click on that. And then we have this incredible AI software, which is incredible. It's another level. So, but the very, very first thing that I found with this program, before even sort of diving right into it, was how much dynamic range I could bring out of my photos. And I tell you, someone said to me that your Nikon Z7 is an incredible range of dynamic range of depth. And I was like, oh, okay. They said it's one of the best cameras on the market for that. And I tell you, after using a DxO PhotoLab 9, it's just another. The amount of depth of field that I can bring out in the shadows and stuff is incredible. And that was the first thing that I noticed, and I was like, holy heck, that is awesome. So you've got your exposure range here. You've off to the left here, we've got the histogram. So you can see even just moving that exposure a little bit brings up incredible amount of depth of field. What I have found is that on this program too, unlike some of the other ones where you really have to push it, I found that you don't have to push it that hard. So very gentle pushing. So also the great thing is too, you've got highlights, midtones, shadows, and blacks. So all of a sudden with your dynamic range and starting to push things, you can gently push things up without having to bring everything up. So you can see here, I'm just pushing those midtones a little bit. We go into the shadows and we start to bring the shadows up a bit. And then if I go into the blacks, you can see that that definitely brings the blacks up. That's a really, really nice starting point, the photo shoot here. Then of course, same with the contrast. And that's what I love about this program is that every part that you do on your photo, I spend a lot of time editing my photos, especially if if they're for a gallery shot that I want to put them on my website to sell them and be limited edition. I spend a lot of time, and the amount of depth of field that I get and every level that I can do on this program within the photo is second to none. There is nothing out there that I have seen that matches this program. So of course, once again, I go into my contrast. I can push my contrast up. You can already start to see some of the detail happening in the sky over here, and you can see that there's some, dust spots on my sensor, and I'll show you how I'll get rid of those in a minute. Same with the micro contrasts. All of a sudden, if I wanted to, I could push those micro contrasts up and have a look. Now have a look. We're starting to see some of that those highlights and clouds that I was seeing on the day of the shoot, and starting to bring some of that back in. And then fine contrast will even bring even more in with the photos. Now that probably looks a little bit overdone. I quite like the softness of the longer exposure, but I do like the fact that that you can go in and do that. So your starting point here is just getting everything balanced. You can see it's still a little bit off to the left on the histogram. We probably want to bring a little bit more into the middle, but and then of course you've got your tone curves. And if you're used to using a tone curve, you'll love this, and it's very sensitive. For me, I just tend to use the eyedropper, and I like to go in individually, and I'll show you how to do that with the AI side of things down the track. The next stage of going through the simple look at is looking at the color side of things. And the really great thing that I have found about this is that you have so many variations of what you can do here and select things. So you've obviously got your color picker here. I could click, I want to click about here, and that'll white balance it out. And of course, do what you want to do. And if, Command Z will bring it back. Yeah, so Command Z will bring it back to what just undid what you did. Also, just looking at up the top here, we have a really good healing feature here. And what I have found is with dust spots and stuff, I can click on that and it pretty much does an incredible job of removing them. Just click on there, take those dust spots out, and a couple more up there. There's a few there. When you start to look for them, they start to present themselves. So, okay, so what I find now is that now that I've got things sort of where I want, I tend to go into the AI tool. And when you click on the AI tool, you've got the your feather tool here with your brush, all the details that you have with any other program. And then the thing that I love about this is that now you can start to select the midtones, and you can bring in depth of field and stuff within just that. And also, if you want to just get that color up a little bit, you can just pump a little bit of color, pull that back a little bit. It's a little bit much there, and start to bring depth of field into your photo. That's what I love about it, is that you can just, by clicking on things, you've got so much highlights, midtone, shadows, blacks that you can do within the program itself. There is a really, really cool feature here in the AI too. And if I go to the AI tool here, the AI masking, what we've now got, we've got all these different modes down the bottom here. So there's an on, so add and select there, that's remove, add an area, remove an area. Then you can also click here, and I can select sky. And what we can do is, it does a really good job, but it'll detect the sky. But you can see that I've brought the sky's looking really nice now. And then of course we've got the foreground here with the rocks. I've brought those up, and that was just a matter of clicking on the AI mask. So, you know, I can select any of these here. So you can see here I've selected the rocks, and I was able to bring those up, the foreground, sand, the sky. So you can see now that I've sped things up, and I've brought the highlights up in the foreground and balanced that sky out. So like I said, you've got your AI over here, and you can select all the different masks, which then, you know, click on here to add a mask, and that then brings up, you know, if you go into the AI mask here, you end up with all these other selections down here. You know, sky, subject, background, people, animals, flowers, vehicles. So that's what I was saying. If it's not just for landscape photography, it's incredible for hair, face, clothes. I was having a play with it on one of my other shoots that I did. I work for a band, and I was having a bit of a play there with that, and the subject selection on it was incredible. So this program is next level, I'm telling you now, and I just want to highly recommend you check it out. If you want to get 15% off, click on the link below, John15. That'll give you 15% off the product, and you end up with a win-win with it. So, like I said, I'm going to dive into this program a lot more down the track on my channel. But for now, I just wanted to give a basic overview of how to bring up a photo that was very heavy. So if you want to see the result of what it was, go back to that first window, click up here, compare, and you can see that that's very flat there. Look at that. That's just a really raw photo, a typical raw flat photo, and you can see the results there that I've brought it to light and brought that image to life. So again, flat, looking fantastic. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will answer them. If I don't know, I will contact DxO and contact my man over there, Simon, who was lovely, and I will get the answers for you, and we can certainly move forward. So shooting at raw, 15% off if you click on John15 on the affiliated link below, and I would highly recommend you check it out, seeing that I came from another program that I was never going to move from. But thanks for joining me, and I hope that's given you some clarity on this program, and you know, I will dive into it on a deeper level as we go, and you know, I'm sure as more and more things come to light on this program, I'll be able to stay on top of it and keep you up to date with it. So, well, I think that's a bit of a wrap for this week. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. And I just want to thank also DxO, the sponsor for this channel now. Thank you so much for your generosity and providing me with such an incredible program. Like I said, if you are part of my channel or aren't subscribed, I'd love you to subscribe. And also, while you're at it, click on the link below if you want to get 15% off the DXO PhotoLab product or any of their other products. Also, next week on the channel, I am going to bring you a video which I shot across 3 days. And what I wanted to do was the same location, exactly the same spot with the tripod, same time, different days. And the results are quite surprising. So stick around, that's next week's program. Thank you again. I'm John Von Hesse for Shooting at Raw, and I love you guys being part of my show and look forward to seeing you all next week. Please take care, keep shooting at raw, and be kind.